Hey guys, let's make some scrumptious baked chicken with a little bit of gravy. So guys, here I have some brown sugar. This is optional. I have some crushed allspice berries or pimento, and I have a mixture of paprika, Creole seasoning, some Lawry's, black pepper. I've got garlic powder, onion powder, the works. I want this to be really seasoned well. You can, take out a few of the ingredients if you prefer. So I'm just gonna mix this together, okay? And this is what I'm going to use to season the chicken. But before we do add the dry seasoning, what I'm going to do is just drizzle some olive oil all over the chicken. So we're using leg quarters, and I leave the skin on. You can take it off if you prefer. I'm just gonna rub the oil all over the chicken. And before I did that, I did pat dry the chicken. Okay, so oil all over the chicken, and then we are gonna add some green seasoning before we put on the dry seasoning. So if you're familiar with Caribbean cooking, green seasoning is a nice blend, beautiful flavors. We have scallion, thyme, garlic, sometimes ginger, sometimes scotch bonnet, and I have a recipe right here on the channel. Okay, so we're gonna rub this into the chicken all over. If you don't have any green seasoning on hand and you want to leave it out, that's fine, but just remember that that's an extra layer of flavor, okay? So now I'm gonna sprinkle the seasoning all over and just rub it into the chicken. You can make some slits into the chicken under the skin and make sure you just massage everything in there. For this chicken, guys, I did throw like a little bit of maybe everything in the seasoning. So take a look at the list in the description box and you can decide if you want to leave out some of the ingredients or if you want to, use all of them. It's really up to you, your kitchen, your rules, okay? But I just felt like adding a little bit of everything this time. So once you rub everything into that chicken, let it marinate overnight, okay? And then the next day, you're gonna preheat your oven, okay? Make sure it is set to 350. And then we're gonna put this in the oven uncovered for about 45 to 50 minutes. While you're baking the chicken though, guys, I want you to take a peek. If the drippings are drying out, please pour a little hot water in the baking dish or a little broth. So while this was baking, guys, it was drying out a bit, so I added some unsalted chicken broth. You can use water, okay? Now I'm gonna return it to the oven and the temperature is gonna be 450 Fahrenheit. We're gonna bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes. This is gonna give it a lot more color. So here we go, guys. We have this juicy, flavorful baked chicken. We've got that color on the skin and all those juices. Yes, they're delicious, but we're gonna turn that into a little, a gravy, a really simple gravy, okay? So if you want to, you can just baste the chicken all over with those juices, serve it as is, or you can move on to the next step, which is using these juices to make a super simple gravy. So here goes. We have the juices from the baking dish right here in the pan over medium heat. What I'm adding is a slurry. That's just a mixture of water and cornstarch. Now what you're going to do is whisk it in quickly so it doesn't lump up, and you're going to add a little at a time. If you're a person that wants your gravy thin, then you're going to add a little bit of slurry, but if you want it thick, you're going to add more slurry. So this is really up to you. Okay, for the gravy, most times I freestyle. I don't measure very often. So whisk in that slurry, and then you are going to be adding some fresh thyme. If you have a different herb in your kitchen, you can go ahead and use that. Then I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce. I'll be adding soy sauce and ketchup. When it comes to finishing up this gravy with these ingredients, I usually just add them to taste, and I recommend that you do the same. Keep it on low heat after you've mixed in that slurry, and then just allow this to, simmer down a little bit. If you feel like you only have a little bit of gravy, you can always add some more chicken broth or water along with like a chicken seasoning cube. Just freestyle, guys. Keep tasting while it's simmering just to see if you want to add salt or pepper, tomato paste, whatever you like. Okay? Now, as far as how long you simmer this gravy, just make sure you simmer it at least a minute to cook out that slurry taste. After that minute, then you can, do another minute or two or more if you prefer. Just don't let that gravy dry out. So here we are, delicious baked chicken. I had it with some Jamaican rice and peas and veggies. I only had a little bit of gravy because the chicken itself was just so yummy, and the rice and peas was good too. Thank you for watching, guys. Give the recipe a try. I do this when I want to take a break from the Jamaican style baked chicken, and I love it. Please remember to check that description box below for the ingredient list. And don't forget, guys, click that like button, tap the subscribe button, and share with everyone you know. See you next time.